This is LNTV, and we are coming to you live from this county, where His Excellency President Boakai has just arrived to observe the official dedication ceremony of the newly constructed judicial complex here in. So His Excellency, this is the vehicle of His Excellency that's right here, and of course, President Boakai will come out any moment from now, and he will be welcomed by authorities here in Rivervess, Cestos, of course, orange, right. So the representatives from the judicial branch of government are all here, are waiting to receive His Excellency President Boakai. So wherever you're watching us from, this is LNTV Liberia Live. We're coming to you live from Cestos City here in Rivervess County. So His Excellency President Boakai has already arrived. Today marks the official dedication ceremony of the Judicial Circuit Court here, and this judicial complex newly constructed, and of course the Minister of Justice is also here, waiting to receive His Excellency President Boakai. Of course, the Chief Justice. Yes. So the Minister of Justice here also. And so President Boakai will receive the welcoming flower from the county authority. Earlier, he was at the boundary that joins both Rivervess and Grand Bassa County. And President Boakai was received there officially by the authorities of the county. So he has just arrived here in Cestos City, where he will be officially welcomed to begin the official dedication ceremony of this beautiful piece of infrastructure that's right ahead of us here. This is the official judicial complex here in Cestos Rivervess County. And so international guests are all seated. The representatives from the judicial branch of government are all here. So there he goes, he greets the His Excellency the President.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Boakai, C.
So His Excellency continues greeting senior members of the judicial community.
I stay up here. I stay up here. I stay up here.
So President Boakai will now have a seat after this official welcome ceremony. So there you have it. All right, folks, so wherever you join us from, this is LNTV Liberia Live and ELPC Radio. We're coming to you live from Cestos Rivervess County, where His Excellency President Boakai will officially dedicate the judicial complex here in this part of the country. We will join you shortly as the event is about to kick off.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll now ask that we all please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
You live? You live on was the
Thank you
national
very
anthem
much. May
of the
please have your
Republic of
seats.
Liberia.
Your Excellency Joseph Yoman Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, Your Honors, Sianyene G. Yo, Chief Justice, Yusuf D. Kaba, Associate Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, Honorable Senator Wellington G. Von Smith, Senator of Rivervess County, the Honorable Councillor N. Oswald Tware, Minister of Justice, Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, and Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, the Honorable Superintendent of Rivervess County and county officials here present, members of the Cabinet here present, the Honorable Judge, Second Judge of Rivervess County, Madam Court Administrator, members of the Judiciary, our chiefs and elders of the people of Rivervess County, members of the Fourth Estate, other official platform guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This is the program marking the dedication of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court Complex here in Cestos City, Rivervess County, on today, the second Monday of August, which coincidentally also happens to be the statutory period set for the opening of the August term of the court. We begin our program this afternoon with a word of prayer and we call Reverend Sis J. Jewel Gould, Chaplain of the Supreme Court of Liberia, for our invocation.
Mr. President, Your Honors, please allow me to read a passage of scripture from Psalms. Unless the Lord build the house, they labor in vain they that build it. Unless the Lord watch over the city, the watchman wicked in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved. Amen. This is a stark reminder to all of us. God has been concerned with justice. He still is. One of the reasons the courthouse is built mainly is for the dispensation of justice. God is reminding us that unless and until we intentionally execute justice, all our efforts will be in vain. And I pray and thank God for those who have made enormous sacrifices, the resources for the construction of these facilities. May God bless the work of our hands. In Jesus' name. Let us pray. Father, we thank you again for another opportunity as we gather here to dedicate this very important place, consistent with your word, Lord. Empower us, make us to be the kind of people you want us to be. In a time of all you two Amens, let justice rule the waters and righteousness the stream. We come, Lord, pleading with you that you give us that enablement. Devil was trying to get us off track, but help us, Lord. Pray and thank you, Lord, for the men and the women, our leaders, who thought it wise to construct this book for the end that your justice will be dispensed. As we present the rest of the program to you, Lord, may you take your glory, take your honor. And pray, Lord, that all who have come to witness this program, even as we go on a terrible condition for our road, you bless us. As we come in peace, shall we all depart in peace. This is our prayer of thanksgiving. I'll pray in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you.
That's the invocation there at this occasion. We now go back
I'll
to
now
the
invite
MC.
Councillor Elizabeth J. Nelson, Court Administrator of the Supreme Court of Liberia, for our introduction of the invocation.
Your Excellency Joseph Numa Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Your Honors Sianyene G.U., Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia and Associate Justice Yusuf D. Kaba, Chancellor N. Oswatwe, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, members of the Rivervess County Bar Association, Mr. President, if you are here, and members of the Liberian National Bar Association, Madam President, and members of the National Association of Trial Judges, Madam President, and members of the Rivervess County Bar Association, Honorable Superintendent, the Mayor of the City of Cestos, City, Chiefs and Elders, and the people of Rivervess County, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow colleagues of the judiciary, the media. Today, I'm pleased and humbled to welcome His Excellency Joseph Numa Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, and all of you to this ceremony marking the official dedication of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court Complex, Cestos City, Rivervess County, on behalf of Your Honors, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia. These facilities are funded by the government of Liberia to serve as a seat of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court Complex, Cestos City, Liberia. Following notice from the contractor, Mr. Mohammed Bitter, General Manager of the Bitter Construction Company, that construction and furnishing work had been completed at the complex, Our Honor Sianyene G.U., Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, mandated the Office of the Court Administrator to get a complex ready for dedication by the President of the Republic of Liberia. Your Honor, as per your mandate, I have the honor most respectfully to inform you that and selfless staff and I have inspected these facilities and consider the 14th Judicial Circuit Complex ready for dedication. Thank you.
Officially declaring the facility there.
And now I'll be pleased to invite Mr. Mohammed Bitar, the CEO of Bitar Construction, for the presentation of the court complex.
Right, so we'll now join the CEO of Bitar Construction, the entity, the construction company. I carried out the construction.
His Excellency Joseph Numa
infrastructure
Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, member of the 55th Legislator, Your Honor, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of Liberia, I am pleased to turn over the key of the Judicial Court Complex, which is the seat of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court. My sincere thanks and appreciation go to the judiciary branch of government for its confidence in the Bitar Construction Company for the construction of the complex. The Bitar Construction Company assured the government of Liberia of its commitment to the delivery of quality service. I thank you. And now, I invite Councillor Elizabeth G. Nelson.
Alright, so you're officially turning over the keys. So you just listen to the CEO of the construction company that carried out the construction of this.
Your Excellency, Mr. President,
the Judicial Circuit Court.
Your Honor, Associate Justice, all other protocol observed, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasing duty to invite for special statement Her Honor Siayana Nchio, Chief Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia.
Chief Justice Madam Siayana Nchio, she walks to the podium now to deliver a special statement here at this dedication ceremony.
Please be seated, lawyers. Your Excellency, Joseph Newman Boakai, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia, my distinguished colleague of the Supreme Court bench, Mr. Justice Yusuf D. Kaba, members of the Legislative Caucus of Rivervess County, Mr. Minister of Justice, Attorney General, and Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, Councillor N. Oswald Twe, retired and former Chief Justices of the Supreme Court of Liberia, and all former and retired Justices of the Supreme Court bench, and former and retired judges, the resident circuit judge, magistrates, court and administrative staff of Rivervess County, the court administrator, and the entire administrative branch of the judicial branch of government, Mr. Superintendent, the mayor, and other officials and citizens of Rivervess County, particularly Cestos City, our development partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I find appreciation in the words of the psalmist as found in Psalm 118, verse 24, and I quote, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it," unquote. It is with great honor and profound gratitude that I stand before you today for the formal opening of this judicial complex. Coincidentally, today also marks the formal opening of the circuit courts within the 15 counties of this republic for the August term 2024, with the exception of the 6th Judicial Circuit, which opens at another time. The next term of that court is in the month of September. With the completion of this physical structure, we of the judiciary branch of government celebrate the fact that we are on the road of moving closer and closer to our goal of building and completing judicial complexes in all the 15 political subdivisions of Liberia, as well as magisterial courts. It has been more than a decade that any magisterial court in this republic has been either renovated or built. Instead, the legislature and the executive that have a core responsibility of establishing magisterial courts and magisterial districts respectively continue to establish magisterial courts within their respective counties and without putting funds in the budget for the stipendiary magistrate, for the building, in fact, of the court complex first and foremost, and for the salaries and other benefits of the stipendiary magistrate with 2 associate magistrates and a group of 10 staff of those courts, of those magisterial courts. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I heard over the news that another legislator had placed on the floor the opening of a magisterial court without there being any budgetary allotment. I happened to have met him at an eye clinic recently, and I told him that this particular Chief Justice and this bench will not accept it until money is included, because it is their prerogative to make appropriations according to the Constitution. So if you want to establish or put honorables, put your money where your mouth is. On that note, I seize this moment to extend heartfelt welcome to our esteemed guests of honor on behalf of the Honorable Supreme Court and the entire judiciary. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, your presence signifies the unwavering support of the executive branch of government toward the judiciary. And I do not say this lightly. The executive branch of government, the history will show and prove that it is only this branch of government that continues to stand up for the rule of law in this country, in their support for the judiciary branch of government, in what you see here today. Mr. President, your presence also amplifies the significance of continuity in government, which conventionally refers to the principle of maintaining stable and uninterrupted system of government over time. Similarly, I want to thank retired Chief Justice Francis F. Caucus Sr., under whose administration and construction of this judicial complex was commenced and completed. Although absent here today, I personally and the judiciary branch want to acknowledge his dedication and service to upholding justice in Liberia, which is the foundation upon which this complex stands. We also take this time to thank former President Dr. George Manen Weah, during whose administration funds were provided for in the budget of the judiciary for the construction of this judicial complex. Now, referring to foundation upon which this complex stands creates an opportunity for me to provide a brief history of this judicial complex, particularly for the enlightenment of us all and all of you, our esteemed guests, including Your Excellency. Noting that we are yet to be given the opportunity, though, Mr. President, to formally present and discuss with you our 5-year strategic plan, which embodies the development agenda of the judiciary branch of government. Thanks to you that we have already commenced talks, informal talks with the Dean of the Cabinet, who is now ready and willing to incorporate our development plans in your arrest agenda under the rule of law. Thank you so much. Further, this 14th judicial complex, Cestos Rivervess County, stands as a testament to the Supreme Court's vision of expanding judicial infrastructure across Liberia, which initiative aims to enhance access to justice and improve judicial service delivery for all citizens and residents within our nation's borders. The same vision has guided the construction of similar judicial complexes in Bapolu, Sino, and Nimba counties, and new court buildings in Bong, Bumi, and Grand Jida counties, respectively. The decision to construct a judicial complex in Rivervess County was driven by what I would want to call significant infrastructure gap in the region. Now, let me explain this. Pardon me, but I need to explain this. When I first entered or ascended to the Supreme Court bench as an Associate Justice, I was given supervisory thing over the Rivervess County, Grand Jida County, and Sino County. I was the oversight justice. And when I visited Rivervess County to view and see the circuit court, I came and met at the time Judge Smith of Syntec memory, okay, in a little place. In fact, the City Hall had ejected the judiciary from the City Hall. They said they wanted to expand. Similarly, during that same tenure as I was supervising these three counties, the county authorities also in Grand Jida County ejected the judiciary from their premises. In both instances, I was a new associate justice on the bench faced with this situation. I went straight to the then Chief Justice and I said, look, we have, at least with Grand Jida County, we have a building there that is a little adequate that we can renovate under. They have been built by the quick impact from unveiling. The bucket board were all in that building. And I said, at least we can renovate it. Again, we have to practically drag the legislative branch of government just to give money to renovate that building to host the court. Similarly here, we had to go and to a quick impact structure to host this 14th judicial circuit. And I told the former president of the local bar of this county that I will put him on and his people on record, because at the time I had requested them to put their arms around Judge Smith at the time to put even a toilet in that facility, because there was no toilet in that facility. This is how I want people to see why we are talking as we are talking, and it has nothing to do with salary. It just has to do with the dignity of those of us who expect justice, that will be treated with dignity. Judge Smith of Syntec memory was succeeded by Judge Bowen, and Judge Bowen, just to bring self-esteem as a circuit judge, single-handedly renovated that facility. Now, this ought not to be. This ought not to be. I always say, when I say something like that, I say, then I wasn't Chief Justice. Because now I am Chief Justice, we will have our courts. You heard Mr. Bitar, whose company was contracted to build this complex. We signed that contract was signed on July 12, 2021 as part of the judiciary's infrastructure development plan that nobody cared to find out about. The project was fully funded by the government of the Republic of Liberia through the executive government. On September 23, 2021, official groundbreaking ceremony took place in Cestos Rivervess County, attended by county officials, including local authorities and the legislative caucus. Let me say thank you to the Legislative Caucus for this part, for their part they play. But please, you cannot only go and represent just your county. It has to be represented. You have to represent the entire judiciary. So we thank you for coming in with the judiciary, members of the Legislative Caucus, the chiefs and elders of this county for giving land, etc. But please, as a member of the legislature, the judiciary needs all of you, and not because you hail from a particular county and you are able to influence your colleagues to put that money in the budget. Please let us expand our vision. This complex costs a total of $1,626,238.80 United States dollars. The 14th Judicial Circuit Complex, similar to the judicial complexes in other circuits, is more than just a building. It is a symbol of hope and progress. It represents our nation's commitment to ensuring that justice is accessible, impartial, and efficient. It is a testament to our belief that a strong, independent judiciary is vital to the health of our democracy and the protection of our citizens' rights. In this new era, we face numerous challenges from political and economic turbulence to social inequalities and global uncertainties. Yet it is within these walls that the principles of fairness, equity, and justice will prevail. This complex will be a beacon of hope for all Liberians, a place where the law is administered without fear or favor, and where the rights of every individual are safeguarded. In the same vein, Mr. President, it is high time that the judiciary be accorded its proper appropriation of the national budget as a branch of government and not a subset of the other two branches of government. And I emphasize, the judiciary is a branch of government and not a subset of the other two branches of government. Over the years, budgetary appropriation to the judiciary has been comparable to some line ministries in the executive branch. Not only has this been unfair, it is tantamount to what we refer to in legal parlance as a travesty of justice. While the judiciary remains committed to the fight against corruption, it must be that lack of adequate funding brews inefficiency and ineffectiveness in every system. And I like, Mr. President, what you always say when we meet with you, that give the person the tools to work with, and then you will have reason to chastise him or penalize him or her for failing to do their work. And that is all we are asking. Give us the requisite tool to the budgetary appropriation for us to do our work, so no more will it be said that this branch of government is corrupt or efficient, etc. So as we joyously dedicate the 14th Judicial Complex of the judiciary, we remain cognizant of the outstanding work that must be done. As I said, we are building judicial complexes now and not merely courts. This judicial complex, Mr. President and Senator Smith, is not complete because our judicial complexes now, according to our drawings and whatnot, supposed to be fenced in, and they are supposed to have a residency for both the resident circuit judge and an assigned judge. There also has to be a cafeteria and a resource center. But right now, this facility does not have those because of the lack of budgetary appropriation. This was what we could do, and we did it properly. Not because of any lack, but we have done it. But we are saying there is more left to do. Continue to come around us. Let's fence our facility in. Let's build the residences for the circuit judges, and let's have the cafeteria and the resource center, a library. Every term, the Supreme Court hands down opinion, and those opinions ought to be in a resource center in each of the circuits. But because there are no budgetary allocation for that, for even the Ministry of Justice to codify the Supreme Court opinions, the last codification of the Supreme Court opinion was done, I think, in 2005. So can you imagine from 2005 to 2024, no opinion of the Supreme Court that constitute the third group of laws in this republic not to be available to lawyers, to judges, and to the common citizenry just to read the opinions of the Supreme Court. Mr. President, and I will particularize this here, Senator Smith, he's my good friend though, other officials of government, let me take this moment again to just thank and recognize in a special way the Bitar Construction Company and its CEO, Mohammed Bitar. You know, one may ask, they gave the contract to a white man, a Lebanese man. But you know, one bidding, you're not going back there. I want to encourage you Liberian contractors. Try and be very, very sincere. Be sincere. Be sincere. This young man and his company, this place here was sand. Because what was happening, this $1 million we talk about here, it came in every budget a year. It brought it in. It just trickled in. But this young man and his company never stalled in this work. They continue to work and use their own resources. Right now, there is still an outstanding balance owed him. But you know what he did? When we talk about coming to dedicate this court, he hauled half of these furniture and other things for the court. So he has to be commended. He has to be commended. And I'm saying we were beaten as a judiciary by Liberian contractors. And I say it openly here. Be sincere in what you do with people's funds. We have a case right now that came all the way to the Supreme Court where we had, can you imagine, the court suing is contractor. And today, that court, we had to go and look for extra money. It is a magisterial court. We had to go and find extra money to complete that court only because a Liberian took the money and absconded to the United States or wherever. As we dedicate this complex today, let us commit to fostering a culture of justice and accountability, where the law serves all people equally and fairly. Let us ensure that this complex remains a place where truth is sought and justice is delivered and with unwavering integrity. In closing, I quote the words of Chief Justice John Marshall of the United States Supreme Court, who said, "The Constitution is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people. It is an instrument for the people to restrain the government, lest it come to dominate our lives and interests," unquote. Let this judicial complex be a constant reminder of our duty to uphold the Constitution and protect the liberties it guarantees. May this complex serve our nation well and for generations to come. I thank you.
Right. Folks, that's the voice of the Chief Justice of the Republic, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Our Honor Justice Siane Yo there, giving us a full background about the construction of this judicial complex.
Madam Chief Justice, I have the honor most respectfully to turn over these keys of the 14th Judicial Circuit, Rivervess County, to you for onward submission to the resident judge of this circuit. Madam Chief Justice, the reason why Councillor Ma and Anthony and Francis is here, the controller is not here, the budget is not here, the ACA is not here. I want this story to be told. Because for each time something is done, there's a court administrator's office. I want for this story to be told that from the onset of the groundbreaking period, these guys were all here. I wasn't here, but I sent them ahead. And the story they told me was that, oh, we were coming, we couldn't get to Cestos. We have to jump on motorbikes. Howbeit, they got here, and the groundbreaking ceremony was done, and they left and went back. Since then, Madam Chief Justice, it's an up and down to Cestos on this bad road, backward and forth. So I am pleased today to inform you that this is what we went through to have this complex up here. So on behalf of all of us, as staff and myself, we want to make this presentation to you, Madam Chief Justice, with a very, very pleasing heart. Thank you so much, Madam Court Administrator,
Right, the keys
and
to
your
the judicial
able
complex
staff.
has been handed over now.
With our
The
resident
Chief
judge,
Justice of the Supreme Court of the
as
Republic
per
of Liberia
tradition,
will hand it over to the
I,
resident
in
judge.
turn over the keys to your judicial complex.
So the
Keep it
keys
well, perform
will officially hand that over.
efficiently, and without fear or favor. I think you now hear my news.
All right, folks. So the keys now to the judicial complex here in Cestos have been officially
Thank you,
handed
Madam
over
Chief Justice.
to the resident judge and the Chief Justice of the
At
Republic
this
of
time,
Liberia.
we'll entertain brief
Justice,
remarks,
Siane Yo.
and we'll begin with the Honorable Superintendent of Rivervess County.
Rivervess County Superintendent will begin the remarks section. Walk quickly to the
Thank you.
podium.
His Excellency
Sir,
Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, and your entourage, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, and all associate justice present, the Honorable Senator and members of the Rivervess Legislative Caucus and other caucuses, if present, the citizens, our Rivervess Bar Association, my beloved people. There is a saying, and Her Honor was saying, what more do we want? We are thankful and grateful that we can be part and parcel of the opportunity that the people of Rivervess can once in their life enjoy this complex that we are to honor, we are undertaking and will benefit. Your Honor, many a time people consider this part of the country, our location, to say, are people in Rivervess? And we say, yes, there are people in Rivervess. Our location does not separate us from the Republic of Liberia. So for this, we are under obligation to enjoy everything that befits the people or human being. We want to be thankful to the judicial system for this. Now that we have the opportunity to have this complex, there are special law codes that will be here. Special law codes that people have to make use of. The special law code, they are on sale. Many a time people will say we cannot do this in Rivervess because we don't have the manpower. But Your Honor, you can see the Rivervess Bar Association is not here. So at this time, we find it difficult for people to say, oh, to get staff to go Rivervess is difficult. because we have conscientized our people, and our people have been schooled in a rightful area so they can take the cabo authority to serve our own people. We can assure you, Your Honor, that with this complex here, as a chief executive officer of the county, we will do all to protect and maintain this place, because we will make sure that this place is used for us, and we as the people that will use it, we're supposed to protect it. It is unfortunate to note, while justice serves as a catalyst for development, most of our district, there is no court. People in those districts, they have to come to other districts to access justice. And when people are far away from justice, then it's dangerous in the society. And I also want to be thankful that the justice minister is here. There are districts in the country, no police officer. And I'm told, and with the little reading I'm doing, the justice system must start, even for the police. So if someone is hurt, where do we find justice? We have two districts, there's one, no officer, no police officer, no any security officer in that district. So we worry. We are very worried. But we know that the change has come and the time has come for us as a people of Rivervess. We will continue to encourage our legislative caucus, and we will also work with the office of the president. We have district, no court. We are worried about the Yadin district, where we have to cross rivers upon river, where people are temporary. How do they access justice? So we want to be thankful to the judicial branch for having this here, but we will work along with you. We'll make use of our legislative caucus, and we'll work along with our president to make sure that the judicial system is served so that the people can benefit. Now, as I speak, today we have our county agenda, the county consultation through the Ministry of Finance and the Internal Affairs, and we'll be discussing these things. We started from the bottom to top approach where we have the district consultation. Today, we are continuing with the county consultation, and all of the things your Excellency will be in our county consultation, because the issue of justice, if we are to move forward as a people, the rule of law must be adhered to, and we will not take it back. Again, let me say a big thank you to us all, and we hope to work together to move the system forward. Thank you.
The county superintendent, they're speaking, making
Thank you, Mr.
commitment to
Superintendent.
have
We'll now invite the
mainly
President of the
dedicated
Rivervess
judicial
County Bar
campus used
Association.
for its intended purpose.
We're going to clap for your
Now
President.
have a representative from
We're not in the code, we also will get
Rivervess
clap
County Bar
off.
Association, who will also make a statement here.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, Her Honor, Chief Justice, Associate Justice, Rivervess Caucus, Legislative Caucus, our elders, to my wonderful people of Rivervess County, Your Excellency, Madam Chief Justice, permit me to stand on existing protocols. On behalf of the Rivervess County Bar Association, it is my distinct honor to welcome everyone here to the opening ceremony of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court, Rivervess County. Today marks a significant milestone in our pursuit of justice. This new facility represents more than just a court. It embodies our collective commitments to upholding the rule of law. Madam Chief Justice, Your Excellency, the Rivervess County Bar is an integral part of this court and has a major role in ensuring that this court functions properly. Our bar has qualified counselors at law and attorneys at law, and I would like to use this opportunity to appeal that the Rivervess County Bar is considered during the appointment of judges to the specialized courts to ensure that justice is administered to our people speedily and efficiently. Finally, on behalf of the Rivervess County Bar Association and the peace-loving people of Rivervess County, I want to extend our felt gratitude to the government of the Republic of Liberia, to the Rivervess County caucus, to Plaque Construction Company, to the public servants during the past term of court, during the court opening. Whenever we came for court opening, we interacted with public servants who were here and also helping during the construction work. We want to say thank you. To our community and religious leaders, we want to say thank you. To our elders, to our traditional leaders, we say thank you. And to everyone who made this day possible, we say thank you. As we move forward, the people of Rivervess County, please let us rally around the court, the judges, to do everything to maintain this facility. On Saturdays, let us come here and do cleanup campaigns. Let us work together to ensure that this facility is maintained. Long live the people of Rivervess County. Long live the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
Making a statement there on behalf of the Rivervess County Power.
Thank you very much, Councillor.
Recommending to the
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, it is my distinct honor to also now invite
judges,
the Honorable Minister of Justice and Attorney General and Dean of the Supreme Court Bar for special remark.
Will now come forward to make an official remark now.
Good afternoon. President Boakai, Chief Justice, you, Associate Justice Kaba, Senator Smith, and members of the Rivervess Legislative caucus present here, members of the government here present, Madam President, members of the Rivervess County Bar, our chiefs and elders, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very significant day, and I'm honored to be here to participate in the dedication of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court Complex. Indeed, in performing one's duties and services, the environment in which you work plays a very important role. It serves as a motivation and added incentive for you to perform well. When you have a good place to work, your performance will improve because you are comfortable. You work in a presentable place. We are thankful and we appreciate what the Judicial has done to improve the work environment, infrastructure of judges and members of the judiciary. While the structure is here, we should make use of it. We implore the citizens and residents of Rivervess County to use the courts and not to take the law into their own hands. And we are hopeful and we are sure that when you come and use the court system, seeking justice, you will find justice. Seeking redress for wrongs, you will get redress. You'll be served in a transparent and fair way. So again, we beg you, use the courts. We know court systems sometimes, it takes a bit longer time. But civilized people, which we Liberians are, we have to be tolerant and patient and give the rule of law a chance. So please, do that. We want to tell in the public manner the Chief Justice and member of the Supreme Court that you have the support of the government through the Minister of Justice in carrying out your vision and your strategic plan. We all have to work in a coordinated way to allow our nation to reach where we all want for it to reach. We all love our country. We are patriotic Liberians. And to show where our country is, we are not happy deep down inside. We are not happy. If you are happy, then you unite Liberia. So we all have to work together, coordinate to see how we can make things better. It's better to say, I try, I did my best, than not to do anything at all. We can't accept and we should not accept the status quo. We should always try to change it. So again, on behalf of the government, we applaud you for this, trying to have courts complex in all our counties. We don't hear the complaints. Judges are assigned to places that will go and look for houses and things to stay in. The present house you stay in have a case before you. What would the poor judge do now? So these will try to remove all the risks and problems that will influence the transparency and neutrality of the court. Because we know our judicial officers, they are well-meaning individuals, well-versed in the law, and want to see that justice is carried out. We shouldn't hamper that by putting unnecessary demands and strain on them. So on behalf of the executive branch of government, Madam Chief Justice, we say thank you, and we know the court will be used for the intended purpose, that justice will flow through here, that people will serve with dignity in a dignified manner and bring honor to the Supreme Court and our nation. Thank you.
Several remarks here to the Minister of Justice there.
You know, Madam Chief Justice, I believe one of the happiest persons sitting here today is the Senator, the only legislator that I see with us, Senator Smith. And I say this because, you know, like the Chief Justice said, I think all of you know where the circuit court is, in the back there, way in the back. And I remember when we came to go there to break ground to build this complex, and the photo that you see on the front page, when the photo was shown to the senator, he said, it got to be rep on the main road so anybody passing, they can see that Cestos light. So we say, but the only land we got, you say we find land before tomorrow, we pay that thing on the main road. And they gather the cheese, I think they work all night. But when day broke, we said we're going to that place, they brought us here. And this place was a bush, a forest. And they did what they had to do. But today, Senator, we also want to say thank you, because this opens out the road to your city. Thank you very much. It is my honor to invite Senator Wellington G. Smith to speak on behalf of the caucus.
Senator Wellington G. Smith, Conference, and to speak on behalf of the legislative caucus of this country.
Your Excellency, President Boakai, Madam Chief Justice, I beg, because of time, to stand on the existing protocols. I did everything humanly possible to be here today because I could not afford to miss this day. Can you imagine, from the airplane straight here? I did not even reach Monrovia. Because today represents too much coincidences and too much historical meanings. First time for two heads of the three branches of government to meet in Cestos City together. Then a member of the Supreme Court who was responsible for Rivervess that came to the opening of court, and I was privileged to have a conversation with her that night. May the soul rest in peace. George Smith and myself met her that night, and we initiated a discussion of a circuit court. Today, she is the Chief Justice that came to dedicate the court. Then one of the judges that was always detailed to Rivervess on an assignment is an associate justice that came to dedicate the court. And so the people of River says, we are very happy because one judicial man said in our court that if it was not for the sake of injustice, we will not know justice. At the judicial level, Riverses have been suffering too much injustice. The construction and the point of dedication of the court represents justice on our part today. But madam, this is the beginning of the journey for access to justice. A few months ago, I think it was at the State of the Nation, and you and I chatted, and you told me to reduce it to writing, which I did. And then later on we met and you told me that the Legislative caucus carried the greater portion to fund the money, because as it is today, we need a magisterial court in Borovie. We need a magisterial court in Zamitown, close to the border with Nigeria. And it's a major mining zone, highly populated. You know, the contradictions of Riverses is that our population is not concentrated on the seacoast. And so people overlook the little movement they see here, but bulk of the population of the country is concentrated inland. Of qualified, we have had enough, and they are willing . And they are willing to come and serve the judiciary in the county, especially the 3 specialized courts. We have councillor members of the Riverses bench that are willing to come. And in due course, we'll be making those recommendations to us, to you. President Boakai, I wanted to say something, but just within that time you decided to go recess, and I must say it. Thank you very much for your presence here today. And from the local things, Your Excellency, you will come back. Because in my lifetime, for me to see electrical poles to be positioned along all the way to Cestos. I know historically we were left behind, but I know history has no intention to perpetually keep us at the back. Thank you very much for the people of Riverses, for us to see light poles in my lifetime. To be coming to Riverses. To my people. The reasons why we cry on national government. And national government in return provides these facilities is for us to use it for the eternal purpose. You cannot have or state-of-the-art judicial complex, and then because you want to express your dissatisfaction or your grievances against whatever, then you can brand it out. No. Let you say for the eternal purpose. We appeal to you. Manachi just says, I can assure you. As a member of the Ways and Means Committee of the Liberian Senate, and now the co-chair of the Public Account Committee, we will do everything possible within our reach for us to take one step at a time, because limited resources, competing demands. Thank you very much. And my people of River says, let's cooperate with the central government. Let's dedicate more projects so that at the end of the day, when we are leaving the scene, our next generation will have something to build on. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, Madam Chief Justice and Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, and other members of the Judiciary, Mr. Senator of Rivervess representing the Legislative Caucus of Rivervess County, Mr. Attorney General, Minister of Justice, and Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, and other members of the President's Cabinet, Mr. Superintendent of Rivervess, and members of the local government structure, other platform guests, Mr. Chairperson, Traditional Council of Chiefs and Elders of Rivervess, members of the National Bar Association, and other legal practitioners, former officials of government, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of the dedication of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court Complex, I have the honor at this time to present to you His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, who will deliver special remarks. Mr. President.
Good afternoon. Please have your seats.
Good afternoon. Please have your seats. Honorable members of the legislature here today, Your Honor, Supreme Court Chief Justice, Your Honor, Justice of the Supreme Court, Your President, Kaba, members of the Cabinet, Superintendent, county officials, municipal authorities of Cestos Rivervess, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and I know when Kennedy goes through the protocol, he does everything, so please let me join. Before I make my statement, I always like to assure the
Honorable the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, that I am not at any time offended by the demands of it, but there are interests. When I was Vice President, I used to always say, in Liberia, we pretend to pay and the people pretend to work. We want people to do the right thing. We gotta give them the right tools. And we don't even realize that the dignity of one person, one Liberian, represents the dignity of Liberians. And one of the things I always like when the Supreme Court, so that they're structured, they are decent structures. If we want the people, I don't know what you feel, but for the judges and the courts to operate in a place that is not representative of our country, for me is demeaning. And so I promise you we'll support you in your endeavor to make Liberia proud, even in the dispensation of justice. We are assembled here today for a purpose as noble and as sanguine as a call for strengthening democracy, reinforcing the rule of law, and uplifting the act of governance in our country. Kindly accept my gratitude, Madam Chief Justice, for the thoughtful invitation extended me to be a part of this serene ceremony. An exercise which falls squarely in sync with the government drive for the decentralization of the means of governance and the devolution of power and authority to a broader segment of our population. We converge under the ambit of the constitutional concept, which designates our three branches of government as separate but coordinated. We come to dedicate, consecrate, and celebrate this Judicial Center benefit, bearing the goal of our the fruits of constitutional democracy and the sanctity of the rule of law, the greater number of our citizens. You will note that a key pillar in our arrest agenda is the rule of law, on which our three branches are duly bound, coordinated. We in the executive branch are fully on board with the judicial branch in the quest to accord those shouldering responsibility of interpreting our law and dispensing justice, the attention and empowerment they need to be effective in the discharge of their functions. I sure assure you, Your Honor, that we fully share your concern for strengthening of the judicial system of our country. I hope that if we are to challenge the courts to rise to nobler standard by which justice is spent, we must also hold ourselves squarely responsible to it. We must undertake reasonable effort for placing at their disposal that which is required to make them effective and efficient. This indeed is a two-way street. We therefore reassure you of your commitment to work with you to ensure that centers such as this are established in each of our countries. As we open this new Center for the Public, we do so with a renewed commitment to lead this nation on a new trajectory of governance and nation building. We must imbue in this nation new mindset about particularly every sphere of our existence as a nation. So come, compatriots and partners, if we are to make strides in the direction of sound and productive stewardship of this nation, we must make conscious effort to tone down acrimony, to foster cooperation, and to lean heavily on the commonality of our purpose. And I believe that this is what brings all of us to Cestos City today, making a loud and clear statement of our unwavering desire for the rewriting of the narrative of this country. I trust and pray that we dedicate ourselves to do this together. Let me resound my call for us, the three branches of government, to bond together to focus our effort in sanitizing our dear nation. Corruption, abuse of power, capacity of justice are all critical areas that need our collective attention. I should note here that at the core of all this is the trust we must push for the prevalence of justice and equitable dispensation of justice within the realm of the rule of law. The foundation of our governance superstructure firmer even when there is greater confidence in the judicial system. As I have said on many occasions, I see this morning and so opportune for a turn of a new page in the history of our nation. I can see lying before us yet another opportunity for us to either take charge of our situation and make needed turnaround or sing again prosperity by again remaining stuck in our usual plenty talk and doing nothing. Taking into account the lessons we have learned over the years, I trust we'll go up to embark on a new, better course. Permit me, Your Honor, Chief Justice, to close by again reaffirming our government's desire to see greater coordination and camaraderie between our three branches of government. I see that as the only choice we have if we are to raise the hope of our people and setting them to embrace the thought of a new possibilities in this country. I, therefore, look forward to more of these judicial centers with a particular prayerful hope that they will indeed be temples in which justice will reign supreme and into which injustice will find no opening to enter. As we dedicate this magnificent edifice of justice, let us here emboldened by our collective resolve, as always, to think Liberia, love Liberia, and together be one. May God bless the work of our hands and save the sick. Thank you very much.
His Excellency President Joseph Boakai here at the formal dedication ceremony of the 14th Circuit Judicial Court here in Rivervess, Cestos City, giving a clear message to uphold justice and rule of law here in Liberia. Of course, as it's reflected in the arrest agenda of the President and of the government of the Republic, the rule of law is a key pillar under the arrest agenda. We listen to His Excellency President Boakai, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia.
I will join the Court Administrator of the need for honor the Chief Justice and Associate Justice and the guests for the formal dedication and ribbon cutting and a tour of the facility. We kindly beg that only the guests, the President's guests, will be on the tour of the facility. For you, the people, the facility is for you, it's open. So by the time the President leaves, anytime you can come, you will see it. And for the rest of us, we'll just go and have a seat in the court. I'm sure the lawyers know where to sit in the bar for a brief ceremony for the formal opening of the term of the court.
All right, so His Excellency will now cut the ribbon. So His Excellency will now unveil the plaque of the judicial complex here, removes the cloth and showcases the newly dedicated judicial complex here in Rivervess County, Cestos City precisely. It says the judiciary, the Republic of Liberia, and it is the 14th Judicial Circuit Court complex here in Rivervess. So, upon reading upon unveiling the plaque, we are already into the judicial complex, and right ahead of us here, this is the complex itself. And His Excellency President Boakai walks steadily Of course, he's been accompanied by the Chief Justice, the
almost on the road.
Sorry, man.
That's all right, son.
All right. So, giving you a tour of what the Fourth Judicial Circuit Court looks like here in Cestos City, Rivervess County. Of course, the President himself is having his own appreciation of what the edifice looks like. And we are just in the hallway here, where His Excellency is being accompanied by the Chief Justice and the Justice Minister. So we can't give you a clearer view of His Excellency for now because the It's a jam-packed hall already. So they're trying to maneuver our way through. His Excellency has already officially cut the ribbon, formally declaring this beautiful piece of infrastructure open for use. So let's move on. See here, the various offices have already been labeled. This one says Junior Managerial Director here. Another one says Junior Management Staff. Of course, there are several segments in rooms in this complex. It's obviously a judicial complex from the way the structure has been built. We have several courts that will be hosted in this. It's another office here belonging to that of the city solicitor. Of course, the office of the public defender. And then we also have the office of the clerks and the sheriffs. And then there's the chambers of the judge. The residing judge chambers is right ahead of us here. Well furnished. Already has all necessary furniture in it. Filing cabins, air conditioners, chairs, tables. State of the art judicial complex here in Cestos. Special office for revenue generation, also well furnished with all necessary furnitures in it. Special office also belonging to that of the County Attorney, also well furnished. And of course, also in here is the Criminal Court E. Like we've said, this is a judicial complex and it will host several courts. This here is the Criminal Court E right ahead of us, and His Excellency goes in there to have a view of what the Criminal Court E looks like. So yeah. And so President Boakai is still having a tour of the judicial complex here in Cestos City, Rivervess County. But of course, this structure with several rooms cost over $1 million for its construction. And of course, in the past few years, this project has been undergoing. And of course, today it has been officially dedicated and handed over to the judiciary for official use. And so, President Boakai have already had his own appreciation of the structure. He has toured several offices, including the Criminal Court E. And of course, he has also toured the various offices here that have been dedicated for the use. So we're currently within the magisterial chambers dedicated to, we have right here the traffic court. And His Excellency goes in there to have a look of what it looks like. And that's the office of the Associate Magistrate. Associate Magistrates have got several offices in this complex, and this is the first one. This says Associate Magistrate Office number 1. President Boakai goes in there to see what it looks like, and he's been briefed by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court bench. Also with him is the Minister of Justice. Individuals in here. This is the main courtroom of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court here in Cestos. And of course, the members of the Rivervess County Bar Association are already seated and making pretty use of the structure upon its dedication. As you see them here, all well seated, along with their president, who made a commitment to ensure that the court will be used for its intended purpose during her remarks to the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. And so His Excellency President Boakai still towards the facility for bringing you a look of what it looks like from within. This is LNTV and ELDC Radio. We are coming to you live from Cestos Rivervess County. It's actually a rainy day and it's wet outside. So of course, His Excellency President Boakai drove here from Monrovia on the wet roads and leading to Cestos City, where he officially dedicated the judicial complex in this part of the country. So as we show you around, we'll now make our way to the plaque that was unveiled earlier by His Excellency President Boakai, to give you a look of what this structure is made up of. So right here at the flag, it says the Judicial Republic of Liberia. Of course, obviously, this is the 14th Judicial Circuit Court complex here in Rivervess County. And it was constructed during the administration of former President George Weah and His Honor Francis Escobar Sr., the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia. And of course, it was dedicated today during the administration of His Excellency President Joseph Boakai Sr., the President of the Republic of Liberia, and Her Honor Siayine G.O., Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And of course, accompanied by Associate Justices Her Honor Justice Etta H. Wolopoli, His Honor Yusuf D. Kaba, and His Honor Yami Pokwe Graces Sr. Of course, these structures, of course, the construction of these structures was funded by the government of the Republic of Liberia with no donor funding. The contractors of this structure are the Beta Construction Company, with the judiciaries serving the Judiciary Consulting Department providing consultancy from the Judiciary Architectural Section. Dedicated this 12th day of August 2024 here in Cestos City Rivervess County. So wherever you follow us from, His Excellency President Boakai is still touring the facility and having a look, his own appreciation of what it looks like. And so today also marks the official opening of all right, so His Excellency is now into a photo session. So, of course, right after that will bring this event to a closure. But this has been the dedication ceremony of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court here in Cestos Rivervess County, formally dedicated today by His Excellency President Joseph Numa Boakai, in alignment with the pillow under the arrest agenda that says the respect for rule of law. And so, keeping that commitment, His Excellency President Boakai drove here to Cestos City, accompanied by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court bench and the Minister of Justice, the resident judge here in Rivervess, and members of the Rivervess Bar Association for the formal dedication ceremony of the Judicial Complex here in Cestos. This Senator Wellington G. Von Smith, Senator Wellington G. Von Smith, also accompanied His Excellency, the formal dedication of this. And so, folks, wherever you joined us from, all right, folks. So this has been a brief coverage of the official dedication ceremony of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court here in Cestos Rivervess County. His Excellency President Joseph Numa Boakai is accompanied by several government officials, most precisely the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court bench, the Justice Ministers, and other officials of government here for the official dedication ceremony of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court here in Cestos City, Rivervess County. It's a wet day in this part of the country. My name is Anthony Williams, and I've been bringing you live coverage of this event. Wherever you followed us from, wherever you listen to us from ERBC Radio 99.9 FM, LNTV Liberia. Bye bye for now. Thanks for following. Let me end my video.